one time, it's like different during Ramadan. It's obviously very pure, very like refreshing, and back on the prayers and back on the deen, reading the Quran. But I would have to say I've had better ones where I was
Mhm.
fully like awakened, like just enlightened, like of everything, and so present in the moment, always on time with prayers. Just nothing else mattered other than just like prayers, religion, school, nothing, soccer, nothing. It was always in secondary. Hockey sport. Fucking guy. But yeah, man. What about for you?
All right. So for me, this Ramadan it was well needed. I've been waiting for like 2 months before this Ramadan happened, like for it to
Ooh, the
come. Like
countdown.
I was doing the countdown because I was so excited. Like, because for me personally, bro, Ramadan is a time where I know it's like in my life because I've been through so much shit. I always think something is gonna happen, right? Something bad.
Yeah,
But Ramadan is the only time in the year where I feel like I know for a fact that these 30 days, nothing
yeah.
bad will happen. Nothing.
Hmm.
I know nothing bad will happen in these next 30 days. So it was good. Like, it got me, one thing that it got me back into, Ramadan got me back into, was praying Fajr because I stopped for a long time praying it, like getting up and praying it. Now,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when Ramadan came, I got back into praying Fajr, so I'm thankful for that. And I read like
yeah,
I didn't complete the Quran, but I read so many chapters. And
yeah,
when I read the Quran, I don't look to memorize the whole thing. I not look for quotes, but I look for sections of it that remind me, like Al Fajr chapter 15 to verse 15 to like 21. Those are like things that I stick with. Like I look for chapters, and when I'm reading it, because usually when I'm reading it, I'm doing something like playing a game or something. So I
yeah,
just take the game audio out when I put it in my headphones. So then when I'm reading it now or I'm listening to it, I'm what's it called? I'm looking for things as I'm reading in the chapter that stand out for me, like things that I'd be like, okay, I understand that, because
yeah,
a lot of the a lot of the Quran is like some of it like you can say is like a repeated message, like pray your prayers, watch out for Judgment Day, and stuff like that. So that part I understand, but there's other parts that where they talk about situations and peoples and things that they're doing. Like I always tell a story. Like one time, I think it's like chapter 109. It says like
hmm,
woe to every backbiter, something something, who thinks that their money, power, something like that will keep them safe or something like that.
yeah,
When I one time I was getting ready to do something and I just made some money and I was counting it and I was on the phone talking to somebody about somebody, and then I opened up my
hmm,
Quran and it opened up exactly to that chapter, and I was like spooky. I was like, what the hell? I was like, yo, what the hell's going on, bro? Like, but I take those things like very serious. So Ramadan was good. Like the first 10 days was good. It also created a better habit to have Fajr. One, I pray Fajr the regular, and then I pray like the Sunnah, the two rakahs after.
hmm.
So that's I created a good habit, and it was just peaceful. Like, I just tried to be on peacetime with everything and everybody when it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Ramadan, bro. And I lost
Well, I
weight.
think that's what it is, man. That's what it all is. Like during Ramadan, you try to just be more patient with everything, every situation. God, man,
Yeah,
every situation, bro.
yeah. I tried,
Um,
I tried to clear up some things, but it didn't work out.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But that's not meant to work out. Some things are not
yeah.
meant to work
Some
out.
things I can't work out, but nah, like yeah, like that's what Ramadan is really about. Like it's just to reconnect, reestablish, and
Yeah,
also on a selfish end, I use it to ask for the things that I want. Like
Yeah.
everything that I need, everything that I want, like I use it that time to ask for the things I want. But I can't say like, yo, I can't say like for me personally, I can feel the difference. Like when it says like Shaitan is like locked up and there's no devil, I can feel the difference because like I was saying before, like I can feel the difference because like I was, even though there's bad stuff that still happens in the world, like
Mm.
me personally, just praying on a constant day, I don't feel any devilish presence. I don't feel anything. But the minute that it ends, it's lit again. I could
Yeah.
feel it like it's lit again. It's lit again. I could tell like I could just tell it. Like I can just tell by the vibes. Like nah, it's lit
Mm.
again. It's activated right now.
Yeah, I feel it too. And I recently just realized that, bro. Like, it's crazy because, like, during Ramadan, you don't really, like, because everything's so free flowing and natural, you know that he's locked up.
Hmm.
So once it ends, it's like you can feel like the urge to shift away from your prayers and your like just procrastinate like later rather than in Ramadan. It's like, okay, yo, I
Yeah,
gotta go pray. I gotta go pray.
yeah, bro. Like I've been dealing with that lately, bro. That's why I've been dealing with that lately. That's why at work I've been trying to set like a schedule. Like okay, like I may not pray Asr on time, but at 7 o'clock I need to leave my grill and go pray, and then pray Maghrib when I finish. Try to do my pre-close early. That way I'm not trying to like. Cause one thing a shorty was telling me, she was like, "Yo,
Yeah,
when you delay your prayers for your work." You put
yeah.
something on your earnings. I forget what it's called. Like something with a R, Rizka, something like that. You put something on your earnings and it's like bad, you know, like, and
What do
I
you mean, like tax or something?
know it's like, I don't know, I don't know, bro. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. But she's like, yo, it's like risky, or it's probably not that, but she's like, you put something, yo, what's this girl's name, bro? I even forgot Shorty's name. God damn. And I love her too. Oh man, Shorty's name. No,
You put like
it's
what is it like?
it's R.I. Okay, her name is Reba,
Like
and
what does it mean? Like what's the
it's like RIQUZ something,
Ripsa?
something like that. Okay, here.
Bro, like what's the message behind it or something? Like
Now I'm watching her Instagram right now. So she says don't skip Salah at work. It's Bakara, Barakah.
mm,
What does that mean?
Bakra. Bro, like oh my god, I know what it means. It's just out of my head.
It puts Barakah. Let me Google it.
So this is like when you delay your prayers at work or just delay your
It
prayers
says
in general?
it says it says she said that it puts Bakara on your earnings. She said, hold on, I'll tell you what she says. Do not skip Salah at work. It puts Bakara in your time and maintains. Oh, it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. So it says that if you, she's saying that if you skip it, okay, so Bakara meaning is like
Like as in like
a
good
good
things.
force, divine gift, inheriting. Okay, I don't know what translation that's about, but it means blessings, right? It means blessings basically.
Yeah.
It means blessings. So it says put if you put she's saying that if you skip your work you delay your blessings basically. That's what she was saying, but she said it in Arabic. So I was like, yo, it's kind of, but when I pray I do feel better. Like I do feel like I rarely
Yeah.
leave a prayer. Like sometimes it happens, but I rarely leave my prayers like feeling like you know like down or like sad or
Yeah.
like it's always a release. It's always a release. It's always a release, and during Ramadan, it just makes that connection stronger. But like
Mm.
it puts a, it's a, it puts a, it makes that connection stronger. But then when it ends, it's like you're back to fighting the battle.
Yeah.
Like I've been hearing some people talk about, what I don't like though, and this is like in the non, like when I don't expect it, like I don't really expect them to understand because these are non-Muslims, but I see like I watch a lot of like hip hop content and stuff like that, and DMX
Yeah.
recently died, right? And
Yeah.
people are like, yo, he was a prophet and this and that, right? But they're just saying, yeah, bro, because they're like, yo, he was a prophet and this and that, right? And I'm like, bro, because he affected so many people with his music and he was such a good person.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, bro, like I think people miss, like, in the Quran where it says, do not go in extremes in your religion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think people miss the thing because DMX, even just watching his stories and me being a fan of hip hop, I'm black. So, like I grew up around DMX, I understand it. But I think
Yeah.
people miss when they say things like that. I think they miss the message. Like I think
Mm.
DMX is a great example of somebody who like fought the battle with the devil to the end, and
Yeah.
he showed it to the world. So he's a great example of what you can do when you genuinely fight that battle with the devil to the end because
Mm.
he was a constant drug addict and stuff like that, but he was also a
Mm.
very like good person. Like he donated his first week album sales to 9/11.
Wow.
He was like a very genuine soul.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people like that, not talking about like religious practices, but they tend to be, you can tell that they're connected to something, like they're connected to God in some type of way. But when
Mm.
they say things like that, it's like they miss the point because clearly he's
Yeah.
not a prophet. Like clearly he's not a prophet.
Yeah.
Like clearly none of that. But he's a great example of what happens when you fight the battle with the devil to the end, and how
Yeah.
much.
Or even just following like the sunnah of the prophets, peace be upon them.
Yeah, like he's a great example of that. Like not really like what they're talking about. They're kind of bugging, but
Hmm.
they're like they're wilding for sure. Like I hate that about like non-Muslims too. Like before, I never used to think of it that way. Like I never used to think of it like when people used to say like one thing that people do, they'll say
Hmm.
I'm a god or I'm a goddess or stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Before I was Muslim, I never used to care. But now that I have this understanding, it's kind of like I understand what like I can understand how like because we don't believe that Jesus is God. So I kind of understand how people began to believe that because they're saying this
Yeah.
about DMX in 100 years when everything is reached out, they might really like think he's God or think he was some
Yeah.
prophet or something like that. Like I really might like I never, but like I was saying, I never used to think like I never used to understand that. Like I want to ask people like when people say that, I want to be like, yo, bro, like if you're a god. One time this street guy was like to me, he's like, I'm a god. I run these streets. And I was like, yo, bro, you could never like do what God has done
Yeah.
for you to somebody else.
Of course, man.
It's good, but I think what happens is like in Islam they say it's easier for poor people to go to heaven than it is for rich
Yeah.
people. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you have money, you
You
begin.
get overwhelmed.
Yeah, I think you
Or
begin.
not even, you just get like your ego just starts to kick in, and you just instead of buying things you need, you buy things you that just don't like want it.
Yeah,
But
stuff like that. But I think that also what happens is that when you're poor, like I'm broke, so I'm broke. So like if I want something, I have to like, like really work for it and like create a plan and pray and hope that I'll get it. But when you're rich,
Yeah.
problems are easily solved like that. So I
Mm.
think when that happens to people, you start to really believe, you start to really think like my problem is not that I need God's help. I was just poor. I think that
Bro,
gets into your brain.
bro, people that talk about saying like, yo, money can't solve your problems or money can't buy happiness.
I do I see people who say like people who equate money to things. I try to stay away from them in general because money is a great thing to have, right?
Yeah.
But I don't want to trade it. It's like, okay, I'll give you an example. A lot of girls have OnlyFans. Like a girl posted on Instagram, she's like she's like girls are buying houses with OnlyFans. What can I buy with your respect? Like like the look at the like but see to live a certain lifestyle, but
Yeah.
she's also saying that like she's saying that what can I buy with your respect? So even though that post, a lot of people are under that post like, yeah, go girl, this and that, and no judgment to you if you have OnlyFans. But the problem is,
Yeah.
what she's also saying is that she's willing to trade that.
Mm.
Like that's a
Trade
different
her what?
dignity, respect to have things.
Uh,
That's what she's also saying in that post. Like that's a willing trade. Like imagine a lot of girls too. They also make OnlyFans with their husbands or their boyfriends, and they
wow.
have sex and they sell the tape.
Wow.
So
You know a lot about this.
I be on the internet, bro.
You on the internet or the OnlyFans?
Here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. So basically, okay, so that's another thing, right? So basically, but let's say I'm a man, right? And oh, not let's say, because I am a man.
Well, you are.
I am a man. But if let's say I have a wife, right? And she's like,
Yeah.
yo, let's sell our sex tapes for 50,000. Let's sell our sex tapes on OnlyFans. Let's say we make
Yeah.
$2 million, right?
Okay.
At that point in the relationship, she becomes a hoe and I become a pimp.
Mm.
Because even if
Yeah.
even if they make, let's say they make $2 million, right? Let's say they make $2 million.
Mm.
That means to your husband, you have a worth of $2 million. Imagine he told now, take the OnlyFans out of it. Imagine your husband said to you, imagine a girl came here, right? Imagine your dad said to your mom, you're worth $2 million a year to me.
Mm-hmm.
She might set the house on fire.
Yeah.
She might, you're rich, so she might change the code on the door.
Nah.
In your case, she might change. Like as a woman, if you take it out of it of the money out of it, and you just put it like that, so it's like it's a crazy trade. When I see the internet, when I see girls on the internet, I be like, yo, this is crazy. Like this is what it is. Like that's how I view it. Like that's like you're like a prospect. Like your husband. Like you have your husband. To me, your wife should be worthless to you, meaning like she shouldn't have no amount of value this woman should have to you. Like so
Yeah.
that's the trade. And my homeboy always used to tell me, like he used to be like, yo, he used to ask girls. Like there's another podcast I listened to, Tax Stone. He had a bunch of girls on there that bartend, right? And he's asking them
Mm-hmm.
questions like, yo, have you ever gave a drink to your boyfriend's op? And she was like, yeah, like, you have to keep it professional, this and that. And I was like, okay, now you're bugging, cause if that was my girl, she not serving the drink to my op. She better call me and tell me he's in this motherfucker so we can spin this shit. Fuck is you talking? I don't care about like, but he was like, yo, what kind of man says to his wife, yeah, baby, go sweat, like go sweat, baby. Like if he can, he was basically trying to say like your boyfriends can't really afford you or they don't care, either one,
Yeah.
because no guy is gonna look at his girl dressed in like some sexy outfit to go shake their ass for other niggas so they can throw money.
Yeah.
So they can throw money. Like no guy is really gonna do that. Most guys be like, yo, like most guys, if they can afford your lifestyle, they're gonna be like, yo, just quit and I'll pay. Like I'll pay whatever it takes just so you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like you know, like but these this shit is crazy on the internet, bro.
Oh my.
What team are you placing? You losing?
Fucking lost another game, bro.
You're not that good.
Bro, I'm off. I haven't played this in a minute.
All right, bro. Let's do marriage now. How do you feel about marriage? You're only 18
You
though.
record that?
I recorded the whole. I'm recording the whole thing.
Oh, see what?
I only record the last 20 minutes because I messed up with the
Oh,
recording. But I'm just gonna record it and like, you know,
just a
I'll
test.
just a test. I'll do 30 minutes, then we can end it. So,
Alright, yeah.
how do you feel about marriage? Islamic marriage, 18 years old.
Bro, me at the moment, marriage, stories, all this stuff, man. No time, bro. Time what is ever, bro. Whatsoever, what is ever, and what has been ever.
What'd you tell that shorty in London? What'd you tell the shorty in London?
I couldn't say anything.
What'd you tell that shorty? You were like, yo, I have soccer. Like, I don't have time
Nah, you're making it sound worse than it is.
Then what did you say to her?
What it was.
Tell
I
what
just
it
said,
was. What it was. You're like Drake. You knew what it was when you signed up. You knew
I
what
was
it.
just like, I don't have time, honestly. Like, I don't have time for this. Not like in a funny way, just like, yo, I'm just so focused on soccer and I can't give you like those replies you want.
I don't have
Like,
time for this. Is crazy. I can't
so
imagine a
much.
girl telling me that I don't have time for this. I might never text her phone again, ever. Like, you don't have time for this? Like, a girl did tell me that one day, but she caught me cheating, so it doesn't matter.
But I have seen like as far as marriage and relationships going, and I've seen it firsthand, bro. Me and my boys, like at high school, like close boys, bro, like public school, everything. I've seen them change up in the not in the last year because of them getting a girlfriend and spending all this money and working overtime just to provide for him and his girlfriend. Like I asked them, like, yo, what's the point of you working and just spending money? Like what are you saying, bro?
Cause he's getting
The
that.
man bought like $500, $600 weekend tickets for next year, bro.
Cause he
So
get it.
I'm like, yo,
He getting
I was
that.
like, yo, fam,
He getting that
let her
cooch.
go. I was like, let her go send me the tickets, bro. Me and you will have a good time, bro. Like, I'll buy the food to watch weekend football. I
You.
was like, but the man, like, same guy, but his priorities switched up, man. Like, everything different, man. You talk to him, he's a different guy.
Is the girl
Personality.
is the girl like very attractive?
Like, you don't wanna. He's the bro. He's the guy.
That's a god.
I don't know how to put it.
Nah.
But like she is like I don't know. But like
No, I don't know. I don't understand what you're saying, bro. I'm trying to get it right
it's
now.
weird to just see how people switch up for
For relationships, right?
yeah, man. Like
Well, you're
all the
young.
money, everything, so dedicated to just that, and I was like, yo, bro, like what? Like chill out,
Well,
chill out a little bit. It's but then like at the same time, like her parents apparently are talking about like, yo, so what about your kids? Because my boy's Muslim and she's like half Jamaican, half
she's
like
she's black.
some she's not black.
She's half
She's
Jamaican, so
like
she must be black.
she's what like
Mixed,
yeah,
but she's half Jamaican, half what?
half French, I think.
Oh, so she's like, oh, didn't she? Her dad is black, her mom is white, right? Probably.
Something like that, something.
Also, she's black then. But
But yeah, man, like the relationship stuff just switches, like it's crazy.
yo, well, I feel your boy's pain, but I have done that for girls, like not to, to be honest, to have honesty in the podcast. I've done that for girls, buy things when I shouldn't have bought them. But that's for a girl I was
Yeah.
with for a long time. I was with her for like 5 years. So like in the second year of our relationship, we already been through so many things that like I think I was moving into my first apartment and she wanted a gift for Valentine's Day.
She
So
wanted it.
yeah, she wanted it was Valentine's Day, so gifts are in order.
Yeah.
I told her like, yo, honestly, I can only afford to take you to the movies because I was saving up to move to the apartment. But yo, like she was so good to me that like I'm like, you know what, bro? I figured out a way like let me just like take out of my budget here, you know,
Yeah.
steal like not like how people don't pay on the Viva.
Mm.
So she just wanted a Pandora ring. It was like $70, $65. I forgot how much I paid for it, but she was like, she wanted this ring, this bow shaped ring. It was like a promise something. So I figured out a way to get it for her. Like I used my tips and something, and I bought it. At a time, I should never bought it because I was saving up for the apartment. But she meant that much to me, so I kind of understand that. But I understand why he would do like weekend tickets for next year because when you're in a relationship, bro, and you love that person, especially if you're being sexually active as a young man, trust me, you'll do whatever
Mm.
she says, bro.
That's true. That's true. And I think even psychology says like the two main forces that drive life are sex and food.
Yeah,
No,
bro.
like it's actually like cycle, like it's profs they teach it. Like my boy in his class at yo, it's what he learned. Like yo, they're the two main forces of life, and it's true. Like if you look forward to food, you would look forward to
Getting
sex, of
busy.
course.
Yeah.
So
I feel for your boy though, like especially when it's your first girlfriend, bro. You know what happens too? You know what happens too with a lot of guys? And I'm lucky that
mm,
I'm happy that like this is why I kind of love being a convert because I get to see life from both sides.
mm.
Like my
What do you
girl
mean? Like
like my girlfriend, I mean, my ex-girlfriend, she was very like in brown people culture, she was like very beautiful. Not to say she wasn't beautiful to me, but like I had beef with so many brown guys because like she's brown, I'm black. They don't know we're dating. When they see us together, they think we're just friends because she's brown and I'm
yeah,
black, whatever
yeah,
type of stuff. But what happens is that a lot of times when it's your first girl that everybody would consider like the general consensus would be like, yo, she's fire. Guys do whatever they can to keep that.
mm,
Like they go through a lot because they want to keep the girl that everyone would say she's fire because they don't think they'll get another fire shorty. You know,
yeah, yeah,
they'll never get the feeling of to feel this fire shorty's breast or ass again or whatever, or to spend this intimate time with them. So they do.
Oh, yep, yep.
You scored finally?
No, no, no. No. He almost scored.
Okay.
Oh my. Bro. Fuck, my bad, bro.
But yeah, so they feel like they'll never get this chance again to like, you know, feel this again. So they do whatever they can. Plus, you be in love, butterflies, and all this other bullshit. But luckily for me, I wasn't born Muslim. So like, I've been doing this with girls since I was young. So
Yeah.
it's not like a new thing to me. You know, it's not like a new experience. I've been okay. If my mom ever hears this, but I've been had girls like get naked and do all this crazy shit. I've been through that. So it's like at young ages, like 12, 13 years old. So I've been had girls do that. So it's not like I'm missing anything. It's not like it's fresh experience to me that I'm having at 18. Because back then I didn't have money. These girls were just getting naked because they didn't know any better. And actually, let me not say they didn't know any better because that sounds crazy. But these girls are getting naked because we're young and we're doing things that young people do. But when you have money and you can facilitate the vibe for her to get naked, like I don't have to wait for her dad to leave work. I can book a hotel. I'm lit.
Yeah.
I'm lit. You know, like when you learn that, like, you know, that happens. So no marriage. So no shorties catch your eye. Oh my bad. You go say what you're gonna say.
I just see the stereotype, man. Like firsthand, cousins, brother. There's pressure. Like by a certain age, you have to get married. You have to have everything sorted out, and I think it's not that true, man. Like for example, I know someone like who wants to pursue something really heavy, like let's say soccer, for example.
Yeah.
Um,
No
but
problem.
they can't because they're forced into that pressure, right? So it kind of like shifts them out of that goal and dream that they have to just a stereotypical way of life, which I think is like messed up, man. Like
Well,
I don't know.
in the sooner we're supposed to get married by 26, but marriage shouldn't be your. It shouldn't be like for. But see, that's the thing. For it shouldn't be stop your life goals. But for,
Mm,
but yo, one thing I can't say about marriage, this personally for me, like because I grew up so fucked up, like yo, nah, seriously, bro, none of the women in my family are married. Like
wow.
when I was growing up, I used to think, yo, I don't even remember a time when my mom and my dad lived together.
Hmm.
I used to think that is normal. Like yo, when you grow up in like, I hate saying on the internet. Like I hate when people say it. Like I hate when people be
Yeah.
like, "Yo, I live in the trenches." Shut up. I want to tell some people. Shut. I follow this one YouTuber. He has a whole gang in his bio. I know he's not activated like that, but that's another topic. When you grow up, let's say like not like what's people consider traditional, you
Hmm.
start to until from you're born until you hit around let's say 13, you really believe that this is normal. Like when I tell other kids like yo, I don't even remember my parents being together. People who
Yeah.
grew up with both their parents think that's crazy. Like people ask me, so when did your mom marry your dad? When did your mom and dad get a divorce? I'd be like, what
Yeah.
divorce? They never got married, fam. They'd be like, what?
Yeah.
So how did they have you? This and that. Like they're so confused, especially in Muslim culture. What? They'll be like, what? So how did they have you? Cause they can't even see like somebody having a kid with somebody else
Yeah.
without. Oh, yo, sidebar. One thing we have to talk about too is that Muslim families who the mom and the dad been married since 16, and the daughters think that their dad has only been with their mom. That's a topic we need to save, but that's
Wait,
another.
what did you just say?
Because yo, in the Muslim community, right? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, like the older people, they got married at 14. They lived in a farm, all this shit, right?
Yeah.
So the children believe that the pops has only been with the mom since 14 to 55. When I
Mm-hmm.
tell girls, like, yo, listen to me, like, I'm not trying to say your dad is a bad guy, but at some point,
Yeah.
he got into some other coochie. There's no way your dad from 14 was with your mom.
Oh,
Only
that's crazy.
the only body he had was your mom. No. At some point your pops got busy. Like it doesn't make him any less of a Muslim, whatever, but it's just it probably happened. Like, you know? They'd be like,
And they're all
no,
probably like, no, no.
no, Mike, they know they kill me. They say, in my culture. I'd be like, yo, shut up. Men are men everywhere. The fuck are you talking about? Your culture? They ain't never no culture. You gotta think about it,
Yeah.
bro. Your mom is having kid after kid. Your dad is working. He's moving
Mm-hmm.
her to Canada. He's buying a house. They're having another kid and another kid. Your mom is getting fatter and fatter. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of this. Your mom keeps having kids. She's getting out of shape. Your dad is working, providing an income. I know some little fast shorty tried to push up on him. He gave it up, but he stuck with your mom. That's all that matters, bro. As long as he didn't leave your mom. As long as he didn't leave your
I don't
mom.
know. I don't know. Maybe. But I don't know. Some loyal people, I don't think would.
Yo, I'm not saying, yo, bro, you really. How long your parents been married? What age they get married?
Bro, like, long, man.
What age they get married at?
I don't know. I think like my mom got married young, like 20.
20.
Yeah,
How old is your dad?
he's like 60.
So how old was he when he got married? He was probably like 23, 24.
Yeah.
So he probably already went through that stage. I'm talking about you've been married since 14.
What?
14. You know how that happens in some countries. They get married at 14, 16 years old.
Mm-hmm. I heard of that too, like Middle Eastern countries and stuff.
Yeah. I be telling shorties that, bro. Like, fam, you really think that your pops has only been with your mom from 14 to 55? You're retarded, fam. At some point,
Yeah.
he dipped off. Maybe your mom has only been with your pops. Maybe.
Different, bro.
Maybe. You know, because you know how women are nowadays. So maybe your mom has only been with your pops. But your dad, especially if he earns money, shut up. I'm not trying to hear that shit. I hate when people be like, yo, but my culture. Shut up. It's nothing but your damn culture, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's just reality. But basically, so basically, right, when it comes to the marriage thing for me, because I grew up so, like, fucked up, my wife will look in the street type shit.
Yo, I can't hear you.
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me now?
I didn't even hear like everything you just said.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay, so basically because I grew up so fucked up, right? The family aspect out of Islam is what I really want. Like when I look at like women, when I look like other day I see a woman crossing the street with a kid, and she was like she was with her like she was holding hands with a kid, and she was wearing like full Islamic gear, like hijab, and she had the long dress on and stuff like that. I was like, yo, that's the one thing that like I want. So I think about marriage a lot because it's the one thing that like in Islam, like it's the one thing that I look forward to, like just the having the family period because I never got that full family aspect. Not that I don't have a great family. I love my family, but it's just like it's not like what people would consider proper. Like like
Mm-hmm.
growing up, I had a friend named Ricardo, right? Not had a friend. He's still my friend. My friend Ricardo, his family, his parents live together. They have dinner together, stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
they just do what like traditionally families do. Like
Yeah.
his mom cooks dinner, his dad works, his like it's like more traditional. When I used to go to his house, I used to be like, yo, I used to go to his house a lot. One, because I was broke. I didn't have no food at my house. So when I didn't have money, when I was struggling at my house, I would go to his house. But the other reason is because I used to love to his family aspect. Like they used to clean on Sundays, chores, like shit. Like I didn't have to do in my house. In my house, bro, my mom, if we had a place to live at the time,
Mm.
yo, I could do like literally like whatever I wanted, bro. Like I didn't have any
Yeah.
rules. Like I didn't have any, which is at that time it was good. But
Mm.
when you don't grow up with that structure, it puts a lot of strain on your life. Like I noticed with a lot of Muslim kids, they want like remember that time I was in the car with your sister and she was like,
Mm.
"Oh, you didn't have to have rules. You're lucky." Like it puts that's good. Like when you're young, you think it's good, but when you get older, it puts a lot of strain on your life. You become
It
very
does.
undisciplined when it comes to things, and you become very reckless
Yeah. Yeah.
when there's no like. But having too much rules can make you very, it can make you rebellious. But it's very like unruly. Like it made me very like to like sit down. When I got to college, I had to really learn to take time and do my schoolwork. Because my mom never used to care about my schoolwork or if I was doing well or anything like that. Like I could have flunked
Yeah.
out of college. I could have flunked out of high school. She wouldn't never care. Like I had to take the time to like really do no type shit.
Hello.
Like yeah.
Wait, I didn't. You got cut out.
Oh my bad. I had to take the time to really do my schoolwork to do like all those things. I couldn't like my mom didn't like not that hey she didn't care, but she's going through her own things at the time, so it's like she can't
Yeah.
really like she's not able to watch that. Like she's not able to watch that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how it felt like. That's why I prefer like that type of lifestyle. Like that's why I look so forward to having marriage and having kids, so I could live like that, the way my friend lived, because he lived like it used to be like more better to me, like like it just used to be more better.
Yeah. No. Definitely. That's. I think like people who don't like grow up in traditional families always tend to hang around people that do. So it still gives them that family feeling.
Yeah, it gives that it's a better vibe. Like I used to be so confused when my friends used to be like, yo, I have to ask my mom if I can come to this or if we can go there. I used to be like, yo, what the
Yeah.
fuck? You have to ask your mom? I used to be like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Let's just go. Like, not knowing that, like, yo, bro, people, I didn't know, like, not to say my mom didn't care about me, but
Mm.
their parents really care about them. So they want to make sure, like, they're doing things the right way. So they can't do everything they want to do. Like,
Yeah.
like, that's why, like, and it gave me a value. And it teaches a valuable lesson because a lot of times, especially with younger generation, they want to move out of their house so young. And like
Yeah.
moving out young was the worst mistake I ever made in my life, bro. If it,
Why?
because life shouldn't go like that. You shouldn't move out young. You should stay there, stack the bread. Like when you don't have any bills, any responsibility, stack the bread, and then transition to your own place with at least a comfort level of financial stability. But because, but because, um, but because, but because people are so in a rush to be adults, they
Yeah.
don't do that. So then you add more struggle. Like one of the reasons why I don't have a car is because it would add more expenses to the one I already have. So it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. But young people, they want to be adults so bad. They want to be adults so bad for the young stuff, for the fun adult things you can do.
Well, there isn't really anything fun about paying bills and mortgages
No,
and
no, no, not that stuff. Like the freedom that comes with it. Imagine you didn't have to answer to nobody. You can go out when you wanted. You can come home when you wanted. You can bring shorties over. You can like let's say you live in a Muslim family, but you smoke.
yeah.
You can come home and I can smoke this. I can do whatever I want with this girl in my house. Like nobody can control me. Nobody can tell me what I can do, where I can go, shit like that, type shit like that. But go to clubs, they can do more things they couldn't do if they weren't in that environment. But young people, they want to be adults when it comes to like to do the fun shit. Like they can go on a trip. I can book a trip to Cuba and I can go and yo, can you hear me? Yo, can you hear me? Nah, nah, nah. I plugged out the thing. Hold on.
Yep.
Yo, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, like I was saying, like they wanna. I noticed that a lot of young people they wanna do the be adult for the fun stuff, like the freedom of it, but they don't want to be adult for the responsibility part. They want to do all
Yeah.
the fun stuff, but and plus, bro, trust me, when after the first year you live on your own, it's lit. After that, it's annoying. Like I hate that I have to budget in $660 to pay somebody else every month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I hate that. Like I hate that I have to pay for my own transportation. I have to do all this. I have to make sure I make enough. Like how like when you let's say you want to fuck off work for a couple shifts,
Mhm.
you can do that because what's the worst that's gonna happen? Even if you get fired, your life won't
Yeah.
change. You'll still go
Yeah.
home. You'll still, if I do that and I get fired, my life is gonna change drastically because now I have to find a new
Yeah.
job. I have to find another way to support myself. I do so many things.
Yeah. Yo.
Yo, yo. Alright, so like being a kid is like the best thing in the world because it's more free. Like you don't have to worry about anything. When you get to that stage when you're an independent adult, it's way more. It's way more serious. It's way more serious, bro. It's way
Yeah.
more serious.
I guess because there's more responsibilities and more
A lot
bills,
more
more.
responsibilities. Like you can't really like you can't fuck anything off. Like it's like you have to really be serious. Like you have to really like take things seriously. Like sometimes when I give even when I give advice to people,
Mm,
a lot of times my advice is misconstrued because I'm thinking from an adult standpoint and the person I'm talking to might not be. Like I may give advice to somebody that I'd be like they'll be like, yo, I wanna go to this concert but I have work. If it's me
yeah.
personally, I have to kind of live my life in a way where I put coming to work first and then I schedule my life around that. You know, I
Yeah.
can't live my life the other way. But people who have no responsibilities, they can do that. You know,
Hmm.
they can live their life first and then schedule. Like they can, it's kind of like that. But
No, no, I feel it because even me, like, I realized it when I
mhm,
was working like 4 or 5 days a week. I was like, every day, I wasn't really enjoying it because it was all scheduled around work, around work. It
yeah,
was like 5 o'clock. Okay, some days, bro, I wouldn't do anything until work. I'll literally wake up, eat, and literally like watch TV, do nothing until work.
hmm
So it was like I was living my whole days, my whole weeks, everything like that. Eat, work, work, work. So when I realized it, I was like, yo, I'm not really enjoying my days, enjoying my life in general.
yeah,
So I was like, yo, I gotta take some days off. I gotta actually reset and think about what really matters.
yeah. That's why, even with me, when it comes to my accounting contracts, I work them
Hmm.
5 months at a time, take a break, and then go back because, yo, when I'm doing that, bro, like this last contract I had, bro, I at the end I started hating it because I'm like, yo, bro, I have to get up on Sunday. I would already be cheese like, yo, I have to get up at 8 a.m. tomorrow and be on this computer from 8 a.m. to 3:15. I have to talk to these buckies. Fuck this shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's too much. Like, that's why my next contract, I'm praying that. Like, I just got offered another contract recently, but it was like, bro, it's like 6 days a week. I'm like, yo, bro, I don't want that same feeling again. So, I'm praying.
6 days a week. Wow.
I'm just praying to Allah, like, yo, please, like, let me get a contract where it's like, you know,
Yeah, bro.
it's like
Inshallah,
three days,
it
like,
all comes.
inshallah, like, like just having faith in Allah that He'll bless me with a perfect, not a perfect, but the best work life balance I can have,
Yeah.
type shit like that. Okay, so we have 7 more minutes until the recording ends. So let's,
You
okay,
can just end.
nah, because it will only record to 60 minutes. Then I have to stop it and then save it again. So basically, let's do like how do you feel about J. Cole's album?
Honestly, I haven't heard it enough for me to like do a full review. I have to
Listen to
for
it
me to
more.
like do full reviews. Yeah, I have to listen to it more.
That's how you feel? It's another classic.
Yeah. What about you?
I think it's dope. You know what I really liked? The Cameron intro. Like
The which one?
you probably don't know who he is because you're younger, but the guy who's on the first song that's talking, that's Cameron.
Is that what the song's called? Cameron Intro?
No, no, it's not called Cameron intro, but it's like the guy who's on the first song that's talking like, yeah, I'm with J. Cole, it's lit, blah 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 blah. That's Cameron.
Oh.
That's Cameron, and Cameron is like a legendary New York rapper, like a legendary New York rapper. So that gave it that old nostalgic feel. And I like J. Cole as an artist because J. Cole album, favorite album to me is 2014 Forest Hill Drive, and
Yeah.
that album got me through that album got me through my first heartbreak as a young kid.
Mm.
So like that album always holds significant weight to me. Like it marks. I hate to say this about music, but it marks a time in my life. Like J. Cole album First Heartbreak marks a time in my life. I used to listen to this album like every day, thinking about this shorty going to the bus. Sometimes, bro, when I look back at some of the shorties that had me tripping, I'd be like, yo, I'm bugging,
Yeah.
I'm bugging. But yeah. So okay, so you say we don't have to give a full review, but that's okay. So let's talk about last thing we can talk about is the imperfect Muslims. Let me ask you something. Since we were just talking about marriage, how do you feel like for your wife? What do you think she like? Do you want her to be like? How would you want her to be?
Like with me or with like just
No, like if describe her. Like, do you want her to like? Do you care how she looks? Does she have to be the same religion as you? Like, how do you feel?
well, honestly, like looks and everything don't really matter, bro. If the heart's there, everything's there, then it doesn't matter, bro.
You're saying that for the girls
Unless
that listen.
unless they're like murked, okay.
Okay, so
But other than that, like religion, yes, it would be ideal if they were. Um, but like nothing too, in depth,
what do you mean to that? You don't want
in
to.
depth, like
You don't want.
like
You don't want to walk. You don't want to walk in and she's making zakah like on the in the living room floor.
well, of course, like I don't know, like around people, probably
Or you want her
more
to
chill,
like
more
have a sense of humor, like not be too like want to have a sense of
too
humor.
serious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't want it to be too like over dramatic in front of people.
yeah.
You want her to still have a, you want her to be religious, but you want her to have a vibe, still a cool vibe, like we have with the homegirls at work.
At the end of the day, it's like it's like your homie,
Yeah,
like your best friend, so you don't want to just have that weird, awkward like connection where just everything's so tight and serious.
yeah. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. I don't know, like I think one of the problems I have with picking females is that
Mm,
I want the two things that I want. The girls are like they don't make girls like that. They don't make girls like
yeah,
they don't make girls like that. Like I don't want okay, like I want her to like first I want her to pray, fast and all those things.
mm,
But then I also don't want her to be like too religious. But like it's hard to find that balance. Like it's hard to find that balance, especially with a female.
mm,
It's hard to find that. It's hard to find that balance. It's kind of like it's like a confusing thing, like because the most girls who they let me do things. Okay,
yeah,
let me not say it like that. Let me not say let me do things because I don't want it to be taken the wrong way. But the girls are that have a good personalities and they're cool in front of everybody, their religion is trash. Like they don't have no faith. Like they're just Muslim by name. Like like the shorties that like they don't fast whole Ramadan, but they take Eid pictures. Like those are the type of shorties I like that. But the girls who pray, they're not really like they don't. Some of them don't have like a
yeah,
cool vibe. Like it's usually like praying this and that, which is
yeah. That's true.
cool. Which is
Which is
cool.
good, but it's obviously like you have to open up sometimes.
Yeah, like But all right, bro. We recorded for 1 hour, so that's enough for the test. I'm gonna save it and then I'm gonna edit it. I'll send you the
No
clip.
worries.
I'll send you the clips. I'm not sure. I'm gonna see right now what the mic quality is and everything. That way, like like I know how to tweak it next time. Like if I have to raise my mic volume, if I have to